All right, so the country that I chose was Venezuela. So this is their flag. As some geographical features, Venezuela is located at the northern end of South America, so it's right up at the top. It is bounded by the Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. About 88.2% of Venezuelan population live in urban areas, and the part that does, the other people who live in rural areas, they continue to live agriculturally based lifestyles. So about a quarter of land in Venezuela is used for agricultural purposes. Some places of interest. Venezuela has quite a few places of interest. There is a whole lot of history there. So it's very interesting to learn about, but I am just mentioning five. So we have Merida, Coro, Las Rocas, and Ciudad Boulevard. So Boulevard came up a lot while I was researching Venezuela. And then so I found out the name Bolivar comes from General Simon Bolivar. He's kind of a symbol for Venezuela. He was an independence fighter that led the military movement that freed Venezuela and the neighboring countries of Colombia. So he is on their money, and there are quite a few statues of him around Venezuela. So this is what Ciudad Boulevard looks like. And then Angel Falls is something that they are very well known for because it is the tallest waterfall in the world. Then Venezuela's capital is Caracas. Caracas is Venezuela's primary center of industry, commerce, and tourism. Most of the major cultural institutions are located in Caracas. There is a national library that has more than 2 million volumes of books, including many rare books. So you can see this has where Caracas is and then Angel Falls. Venezuela culture. Since the 1920s, the government has promoted artistic expression as a way to maintain cultural autonomy in the face of foreign influences. So I listed a few artists that are known in Venezuela. So there's a writer, some painters, and an architect. Before eating, one must wait for all other people to be seated at a table or until the host tells them to begin eating. The host always toasts first. And the food in Venezuela is influenced heavily by Spanish, Italian, and French culture. The official language of Venezuela is Spanish, but there are still 25 surviving indigenous languages belonging to 3 linguistic families. And then so right here we have a picture of a Venezuela carnival, and then traditional clothing of Venezuelans. And then some traditions. So Venezuela's musical traditions are also constituted of a mixture of indigenous, European, and African culture. Rooted in Spanish heritage, the country's national dance, the joropo, is a couple's dance performed to music by traditional Latin American instruments. So over here I have some instruments that they use. So there's the maracas, the cuatro, bandola, and arpa. And then Caracas is home to a variety of Venezuelan religious traditions. Catholicism in Venezuela follows most closely to the Roman Catholic Church. So here is one of the Roman Catholic churches. And then here I have a picture of one of Venezuela's most popular dishes. It includes rice, plantain, beans, and beef. And they call it the pabellon creole. So how does Venezuela's culture compare to the US? So from what I could find, Catholicism is the top religion in Venezuela, like I talked about. And then Catholicism is like the second or third religion in the US, so about 20% of of the US is Catholic. In both Venezuela and the United States, they greet each other with handshakes when meeting others. Both countries celebrate Christmas, and both countries started as European colonies. And then I have my resources.